What's up, y'all? My name is Duana, aka Glamazon1026, and I am here to give you a chit chat, get ready with me, story time, something, I don't know. It's my anniversary, I'm getting ready for dinner, and I decided to tell y'all a little bit about how me and Reggie got together. And I think it's a pretty cool story. I like our story. So hopefully you guys like it too. And that would be that. Anyway, before we go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure that you click the notification bell because we're trying to build a community here. We got a whole lot of content for you, okay? And I know you're gonna like that content because you already came this far, all right? So just do that and then watch the video, all right? I'll see you. All right, y'all, so we are filming a chit chat, get ready with me. I don't even know. It was supposed to be a Q&A, but nobody asked me questions because I didn't really plan it. I just said, hey, I should film a Q&A, so let me ask some questions. I did that like 2 hours ago, and only 2 people asked me questions, and that's what I get. So it's probably gonna be a get ready with me chit chat story time, something. I don't know, something. You know, we don't really know each other that well. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. So this is for all my followers, subscribers. I want to get to know me a little bit better. I'm not gonna be focusing on the makeup today. We're just gonna be doing our makeup because I'm actually getting ready to go downstairs to the dining room because it's my anniversary. Well, it's not actually my anniversary. My anniversary was yesterday and we hired a private chef to come and cook us food. So that's gonna be exciting. I'm really excited about that. I follow him on Twitter. His name is Charles Hunter. He is at Salted Table, The Salted Table, at The Salted Table. And I followed him because he put some cookies on the timeline and I was like, I want those. And then I was like, oh, you in Nashville too? Bet. I said, one day I'm gonna get them cookies. So hired him. He's gonna give us 3 courses. It's gonna be exciting. He's supposed to be here in about 40 minutes. It's probably gonna take me longer than 40 minutes to do my face, but whatever. Anyway, y'all know the deal. I just primed my face. We about to get into these brows. So I guess since it's my anniversary, I'm getting ready for my anniversary dinner, I can tell you guys how me and Reggie met. Well, we met in college. That's easy. We did not date in college because we, I don't know, we had our eyes on other people. We were in the psychology department together. So I came in 03 and he transferred in 05. And all of a sudden one day I just saw this dude and he was just like mad tall. And he always had on Jordans. And I was just like, oh, he's really quiet. So, you know, I don't know if everybody knows, but I'm tall. I'm 6'2". And I'm used to being in the back of everything because I'm tall. So when I am like in class, I usually sit in the back so that my head don't block anybody because I feel like that's embarrassing when they be like, move down in front, you're so tall, your hair is blocking, blah blah blah. So I always sit in the back. So I feel like if you're on the same track and you know, you're gonna have most of your classes together once you do your major classes. So we always used to end up sitting there by each other. And at that time I had a laptop, but my laptop was mad big. I had a HP laptop. And so I didn't want to bring it to class because I was just like too much. So I just used to take notes the old fashioned way and just, you know, paper and pencil, blah, blah, blah. And he had an Apple. So he had a MacBook, one of them first white MacBooks. And so he used to bring that to class and take notes on his MacBook. And I remember specifically in Theories of Personality, I used to sit next to him and he could type faster than I could write. So I got ADHD, I'd be forgetting like what I'm writing mid-sentence. I would look at his MacBook and just finish the sentence I was writing. And finally he realized that I was doing that. So he used to shift it towards me so that I could see. Then like we just started talking because, you know, we were sitting next to each other a lot. So I, you know, figured out what his name was, blah, 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 where he's from. He's from all over basically, but he had transferred from a school in California to come to our school in Alabama. So yeah, we had gotten to talking and just, you know, found out a little bit about each other. We had liked the same shows. Like we really liked The Boondocks and we really liked Scrubs. And there were a couple other things that we kind of like had in common. And like, I remember, you know, you could bring snacks into class. I had just come from my snack bar and I was eating, I think it was like cheese doodles, because I love cheese doodles. And I asked him if he wanted some. And he was like, no, I don't really like cheese doodles. I was like, how do you not like cheese doodles? Like, everybody likes cheese doodles or like Cheetos or whatever. And he was like, no, I just don't like them. Because he don't really like chips because he's a weirdo. You don't like chips? How you don't like chips? Anyway. So he didn't want anything. So then I was just like, oh my gosh, you are such a weirdo. And then like another time I had like M&Ms. I was like, you want some? He was like, no, I don't like chocolate. I was like, you don't like chocolate? Like, what? I was like, oh my God, this boy's a weirdo. Anyway, that's how it was. Like, and then one day I was just like, you know what? I'm making my best friend just because I was like, we're going to be best friends and that's just going to be it. We're just super mega best friends. I'm telling you this now because we had a lot in common and he seemed like a nice person. He seemed pretty kind. He was really quiet. He didn't really do nothing. Didn't really make no waves. He was on a basketball team, but he was like, just, you know, just regular. So I was just like, okay, we're gonna be best friends. I remember one time I hugged him. We were at a basketball game for my school and I hugged him. His friends started laughing and I didn't know why. And like later, years later, he told me that they said that we was gonna get married and have ogre babies because we're both really, really tall. And I was like, that is rude. I was like, but maybe. I got a really tall family. He got a really tall family. It can happen. They're gonna be cute ogres. Anyway, so fast forward a couple years, we were in this class called experimental psychology where we had to like basically learn about how you do experimentation in psychology, like if you're going to be a scientist psychologist and not like a therapist psychologist. And so we were in the same group because, you know, we were sitting next to each other and we had to pick groups and I was like, you want to be in our group? And he was like, yeah, sure, that's fine, whatever. And so we started, you know, working on whatever our assignment was. I think it has something to do with the elementary school because our college has an elementary school and a high school. But we had to do some either with the elementary school or high school. I don't remember. We were asking kids questions. And so that was that. But when it was time to like write the paper and like study the results and stuff, he was MIA for a while. And he was just like, oh, can you get the notes for me? Because, you know, I got to go back to Florida because my mom is really sick and, you know, she's in a coma or whatever. And I was like, your mother's in a coma? He was like, yeah. I was like, boy, if you don't get on that plane, don't worry about no notes. Don't worry about doing any of the work. Whatever it is you got to do, we're going to do it and put your name on it because your mom's in a coma. That's like, we're not going to expect you to do things. We're not. Anyway. But he was just like, oh wow, that's so nice, that's so kind, like I really appreciate it, blah blah blah. And I was like, yo, if my mother was in a coma, I would hope nobody expect me to put no work into something. I'm just gonna, you know, like we get an A, you get an A. That's it, right? And so I said, we just gonna put your name on the project. So he was just like, that is so kind, blah 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 blah, whatever, and he'll never forget it. And so then like a couple weeks later, he was back in school. And I was like, oh, how's your mom doing? He was like, no, she passed or whatever. And I was like, dang, that's messed up. I can't imagine being in college and my mom dies and I come back and go to school. Like I would probably take the rest of the semester off. Anyway, he came back and I was just like, yo, you know, if you ever need anything, let me know. I make a casserole because, you know, I'm a nurturer. That's just how I show my love to people. Like I'll cook for you. If I love you, I'm gonna cook for you. That's how it is. And so I was just like, you know, let me know. Because at that point, I had an apartment. I had campus apartments. So I had like a stove, you know. It was like a nice little 3-bedroom, whatever, right? And I was like, yo. And actually, we both lived in the same apartment complex. And so I was like, you know, whatever. If you need something, just let me know, bro. I'll run it over to your building. And he was like, thank you, that's so nice, blah, 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 whatever. He never called. He said people always say that when somebody dies, but they don't ever mean it. But I was like, nah, bro, I meant it. This is what we was talking about later. Anyway, that was that. 2007, I graduated from college and I left, and he stayed in Alabama. This is at the height of Blackberries. Kind of. Somewhere around there. Like, we used to stay in touch on like Facebook or whatever. I joined a program and then I dropped out. And then after I joined that program, I went to Fordham University in New York, and I was working there as a secretary, because my dad was like, you either gotta work or you go to school. You can't be in this house doing nothing. And I was like, cool, I get a job. So I got a job at Fordham, and I was in the English department working for the English department dean. I was like the second secretary, because she had a first secretary, I was the second secretary. Anyway, so that was like with Gmail and BBM and all of that stuff. So we had like, you know, everybody wanted to have everybody on their BBM pin. So, you know, I was like, oh, cool, you got a BlackBerry? I got BlackBerry, give me a pin. So we used to just talk all the time on that. And he used to tell me about his girl problems. I used to tell him about my boy problems. Like, I was dating this guy, he was pretty terrible. And, you know, Reggie was just a really nice guy about it. Like, he wasn't telling me like, oh, yo, he's mad terrible, you need to leave him, blah, blah, blah. He was just, you know, like, he would listen to me and he'd be like, oh, that's messed up, I'm sad that you sad, blah, 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 whatever. And he would be talking to like these girls, he would tell me about them. I'd be like, nah, I don't like that one. And then he'd talk to another girl, I'd be like, oh yeah, I like that one. You should take her on a date. Or like, he'd be like, oh, I like this girl or whatever. Blah, blah, I don't know what to do. I'll give him like date ideas and stuff like that. Like, so we actually really did become best friends. Like super mega triple best friends. That's how we were.
No such thing.
Shut up, Reginald. Yes, there is. We were mega Ortega best friends. Like the biggest best friends that best friends could be. That's how we were. We used to talk every day, all day, because I'm at the computer, so I used to talk to him. I used to talk to my sister on Gmail. Just switched to like phone calls after that. And then the guy I was dating didn't really like me talking to him on the phone, but he was always in the studio. And so like, I was bored. And so I would just be talking to Reggie. And there was no like attraction at that point. It was just like, this is my homie. That's it. After that, what happened? I don't know. We just kept talking on the phone all the time. Anyway, let's fast forward. He ended up graduating around the same time I was starting my master's. And so, when he graduated, you know, I watched his graduation because it was live streamed, I believe. Yeah, it was, because I watched it on the thing. And I was like, you gotta do something so that I know that you know, so that's just for me, for your best friend. He was like, I'm gonna point to the screen. I was like, cool. And so he did that. He pointed to the screen. I was like, that's my bestie, blah, 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 whatever. And then after that, like, since his dad lives in Haiti, like when he comes to America, they do a world tour. So they gotta go to Florida, they gotta go to New York, they gotta go to Boston, they gotta go all the places that the Haitians be at, basically. And so he was coming to New York, and I was like, cool, come to New York. I'm in New York. I'll show you around. This my city. Blah, 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 whatever. We'll find something to do. So after he left Alabama, they came to New York to see his godmother. At this point, me and the guy had broken up. Oh, no, that's a lie. Let me go back. So that year, for like our homecoming, I went down, and me and the guy I was dating had broken up. And, you know, he was just a really nice friend to me. He was just like, you know, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. Don't go back out with him, or else I'm not gonna be your friend no more. Because he was terrible. And I was like, that's true. And I said, I'd rather you be my friend than me have a boyfriend like him. And he was like, okay. And so we just stayed broken up, me and the other guy. And so then that year when he graduated, he came to New York, and I was like, okay, cool, let's hang out. I went out to Long Island. I met his dad. I met his godmother. I think his sister was there. Yeah, his sister was there. I met his sister. Then we went to, where did we go? We went to the city because he likes golfing, and I had never been to a driving range, so he took me to a driving range down in Chelsea Piers. And then after that, I told him I was gonna show him how to eat pizza like a New Yorker, because everybody that's not from New York be like, y'all pizza's so big, how do you eat it? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you just fold it. Like, it's not that difficult. So I said, we're gonna go to a pizza shop and I'm gonna show you how to fold a pizza. He was like, well, which pizza shop we going to? I was like, pick any one. They're all delicious. And so after we went to Chelsea Piers, we were walking. I was like, this is before like GPS and stuff on your phone. This was like, let's walk around the neighborhood and find a pizza shop. So we were somewhere in Chelsea, New York, like over by the High Line, and it started raining. And what happened was, you know, like in the movies when it's raining and the man picks up the lady and they run wherever they are? That's what happened, y'all. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna marry this man. It was at that moment that I knew I was gonna marry him. Because first of all, I'm mad big. I mean, I was littler then, but I was still big. And I still thought I was big in my mind. And I was just like, yo, I ain't been picked up since I was like 8. I'm marrying him. I'm marrying him. That was it. That was a wrap for me. It was a wrap for me. Anyway, so we did that. Then we went to eat the pizza. We ran into the pizza shop and he put me down, whatever. I showed him how to eat pizza. Then after that, my aunt had given us, what did she give us? Dave & Buster's like cards, because she used to work for a prominent sports thing. Like, think of sports channels. She used to work there and they used to get them. And so we had a bunch of them. And so I was like, you want to go to Dave & Buster's? He was like, sure. And so we just went to Dave & Buster's. He taught me how to play Guitar Hero. We played like shoot 'em up games. Like, I'm very bad at video games that aren't like adventures. Like, I like adventure games. Like, let me go over here and look at this thing and pick it up and go find blah, blah, blah. I like those. I don't like shooting games because I get nervous. And so he showed me how to play like some shooting games and we did that. And then after that, we, what did we do after that? Oh, like we had some time to kill because my sister was like, oh, you in the city? I'm gonna come down to the city. I love the city. We're gonna go eat because, you know, we like to eat in my family. So we went to this place that we really, really liked back in the days when the seaport was open. I think the seaport back open after Sandy. I don't know because I don't live up there no more. But it was this place called Cabana. It was this Cuban restaurant. We had some time to kill before my sister got off work. So I was like, oh, let's, you know, go on a tour of New York. Reggie really likes Will Smith, and so I showed him like where not iRobot, what's that thing called? That one where he was the one where it was the zombies? I can't remember the name of that movie for the Reggie! What's the name of that Will Smith movie where he had the German Shepherd? No, it's not I Am Sam. Oh, I Am Legend. That's what it was. So I showed him where I Am Legend. I heard, thank you. So I showed him where I Am Legend was shot. Like I showed him the house and like watched this Square Park. I took him to Grand Central because Grand Central was down there. And you know, like that's where they strung up the whatever or whatever. So I showed him where everything was and he was just like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. I love Will Smith. He's the best actor. You know, because he West Indian. Anyway, so then after that we met my sister and her boyfriend at what's it called? Cabana. R.I.P. Cabana. I don't know if you're there no more. You closed down because of Sandy. And he was just like, Duana, your family is wild. And I was like, what you mean we wild? He was like, yo, y'all were like on the way to get your food out. Like you ordered and I was like, where's my food? I was like, that's not true. We was just like really hungry. So, because remember, all we had was pizza. Anyway, so we went there and we just had a good time that day, just hanging out. And it wasn't no like, oh, a date or whatever. You like me, I like you. It was just like us chilling, like hanging out. Anyway, even though I did say I was gonna marry him when he picked me up. I think we hung out like a Tuesday and then like either the Wednesday or the Thursday we hung out again. I was like, yo, you wanna go to a movie after I get off work? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay. So we went to see Death at a Funeral and we took his sister with us. We went to eat at the Grand Lux Cafe. That was the first time I've ever been to a Grand Lux. Cause it was right by the movie theaters. You know, we had a good time. It was really nice. I got along with his sister really well. We made a plan to go see Robin Hood with Russell Crowe because we both like those types of movies. And so we was like, cool, you here? Let's go see Robin Hood, blah, 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 whatever. Then they was like, oh, we having a party for his graduation, blah, 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 whatever. So we had made the movie reservation close to where I lived. And that was like 40 minutes away from where his godmother stayed. So we was like, okay, we're gonna go to the party first, and then we'll leave and then come and go to the movies over by where I was. And so that's what happened. That's what we did. So I got to the party, and they was like they was introducing to me to his, like, all his dad's friends that live in New York, all the people, like all the Haitians. They was just introducing me to everybody. And they was like, is this Mrs. Reginald? And they was all talking in Creole. I don't know Creole, but I understood that. And I was like, no. And then they was laughing, and we were laughing. We had a good time. This is my first time like really eating Haitian food, and I was like, yo, this food is so delicious. And so I was really excited about that. And then we went to the movies. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened, but we was in the movies, and Reginald kissed me. He kissed me first. Everybody, I want you to remember that, okay? Because that's important. He liked to front like he didn't, but he did. So he kissed me first in the movies, and I was like, this is odd. Like, we don't have this type of relationship. We are cool. We're buddies, right? Anyway, I was thinking about it a lot in the movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Reggie just kissed me. That's so weird, blah, blah, blah. And then, so we was driving back to his house, and before he got out the car, I gave him a kiss then. And then he was like, call me when you get home. And I was like, okay, goodbye. And I just drove home really, really fast because I was like, I'm embarrassed. Like, when I got home, I was like, Reggie, what is happening? Like, best friends don't kiss each other. That's not what best friends do. So what's going on? And he was like, you know, we talk about how we love each other all the time, but it was never like ooh, I'm in love with you, love. It was just like, yo, that's my homie. I love him. You know, blah, 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 whatever. Or she's my homie. I love her. And I was like, and it was just like, randomly throughout the course of that week that we was hanging out, it just changed. So it was just weird. So we were talking on the phone, like, because it was really, really late when I got home. And so we were talking on the phone till like 6 in the morning. I was like, Reggie, yo, like, we gotta figure out what's happening because, you know, like, we were just both basically like, yo, what's going on? We don't know what's happening. So then I guess at the end of that conversation, we decided we liked each other. I guess. Because we wasn't like technically going out, but we was like, okay, I think this could be my boo. I don't know. Anyway, so then after that, he went back to Miami like the next day. I mean, he went to like Miami the next day. And then we was just kind of like FaceTiming and talking, blah, blah, blah. I forget what it's called on Max back in the day, but they had like a little video message thing. We used to do that all the time. Then my friend Carolyn was getting married in Alabama at our school that we all went to. So I was a hostess for that wedding. So she was like, so I had to go down to Alabama. I remember my dad was mad too because it was our family reunion, but they had planned that family reunion at the last minute. I had already got my dress for Carolyn's wedding, so I was like, I gotta go. And he was mad at me, but I mean, what can you do? Y'all planned this at the last minute. So I told him, you know, like, hey, I gotta come to Alabama. You gonna pick me up from the airport? And he's like, yeah, I'll pick you up from the airport. Then we go to a gas station Mexican restaurant. So yeah, I was just like mad nervous because I hadn't seen him since New York. So I get down to Alabama. He picking me up from the airport and he texts me. He's like, I got a flat, but I'm coming. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I went to the bathroom, you know, like freshen up, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, finally he gets there. He's like, okay, I'm here. This is Huntsville, Alabama, and the airport ain't but that big. And so he could like leave the car there, like come in and get my bags and stuff. So he comes into the airport in a shirt that says, will you be my girlfriend? Check yes or no. And I was like, yes, I will be your girlfriend. Yes. And so that was that. That was how we got together. And I want to say we've been together for ever since that, but it wasn't. Like, it hasn't been like hunky-dory all the time. Like, I think for a little bit, especially that, like, because we had broken up, I feel like we had forgotten that we were best friends first. And I hadn't like healed from the relationship that I was in prior with the kind of awful dude. And so it was just like, it was a lot going on. And so, you know, we broke up. My dad was so upset when we broke up. My dad loved Reggie. I don't even know why, but he loved Reggie. I went on a date. I said, I'm going on a date. And he was like, wait, where's Reggie? I said, we broke up, Daddy. And he was like, and I was like, whatever. Like, I have to move on with my life. And so that was that. And then after I graduated from grad school, I couldn't find a job in New York. I looked places where I could afford to live on my own. So I looked in Maryland, I looked in Memphis because my best friend lives in Memphis, or she lived in Memphis rather. Then I looked in Nashville. I always liked Nashville. And when we were together, me and Reggie said we were gonna move to Nashville. So I was just like, you know what? I got to be with him to move to Nashville. And so when I came down here for my job interview, he met me, like, did he pick me up from the airport? Yeah, he picked me up from the airport. Picked me up from the airport. He took me to my job interview because I flew in the day of my job interview and then I stayed the weekend. So like, so that weekend we were hanging out and I was just like, you know, like, what's happening with us? Like, what's going on? Because we had stopped talking for a while and then we started talking again. And he was just like, you know, we can't do the long distance thing anymore. Like, it's not going to be things. He was like, so if you get a job down here, then we could talk about being together. So I was like, okay. So I just finished my eyes and stuff off camera. I think I was telling y'all about how we broke up and then I got a job in Nashville. And then we slowly began like the talks of getting back together. Like, so it wasn't even something immediate. All I know is that he used to come up here all the time from Alabama. So I was like, well, you like me, so just ask me to be your girlfriend again. And he did, one day. And then that was all she wrote. And then that time it was for real. So that was I in the little apartment or was I in the big apartment? I think I was in the big apartment. So it was probably like 2013. Yeah. Then we got proposed to in Antigua. He surprised me. I was on a vacation with my family, and all of a sudden, this man who said he wasn't coming on this vacation was on that vacation, and he proposed to me. It was a very nice proposal. That's a story for another time. And then, so yeah, so we got engaged August of 2015, and then we got married August of 2016. It was a very, very, I think that's a short engagement, but I was like, I know that, like, I have a beer budget, I have a tap water budget with champagne taste, so I need some time to build my money up. That's kind of just how we got together, and we've been together since, this is our 5th anniversary. So we're no longer newlyweds. It's exciting, it's exciting. You know, sometimes we forget that we're besties, but I feel like we always gotta remember that we started off as like really, really super duper mega ultra best friends. And we just gotta keep that and we'll be good. I feel like that's good. I feel like that's it, yeah. All right, y'all, this is the finished look. I think it came out really cute. And you will see like my whole outfit and everything in the vlog that I'm doing about today. Yeah, I did a vlog, so that's gonna be interesting. If you wanna see my whole outfit and everything, how it all got put together, then, you know, we gonna do that, okay? So if you like it, give me a thumbs up down below. When you like this video, it pushes this content to other people who watch the same videos that you watch. So make sure you give me a thumbs up. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you click the notification bell so that you're a part of the Glam Fam and you know exactly when I'm uploading. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Glamazon1026, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.